Hello and welcome, I am Julie. I work for WhizTree, a SAP partner. I will take you through this video, a demo for our Smart Master Data Manager product, certified by SAP. Smart Master Data Manager is the first ever product built in SAP NetWeaver for master data quality checks. You will not need a separate system anymore for your master data quality assurance. This product is delivered as a SAP add-on, can be deployed directly into your ECC or CRM system. You could also deploy it into a centralized NetWeaver system like Solution Manager. Master data can be extracted from SAP and non-SAP systems into this centralized NetWeaver system for quality checks. This is our Master Data Manager desktop dashboard. A mobile version for iPads and other tablets is also available. Here you can configure multiple SAP systems and different functions for a system. Master data compliance fail or pass is evaluated based on the rules. For example, if you have 5 business rules for material master, then all the materials in your system will be validated against these rules for a compliance check pass or fail. These rules are configured in the Master Data Manager workbench, which we will see later. The top line shows the status with master data compliance percentage for each function within a system. Status red, green, or yellow is based on the acceptable compliance percentage configured for each function in the workbench. The top bar graph shows the average and the individual compliance percentage for each function for last 7 days. In the middle, the line graph shows compliance percentage for individual master data entities within a function for last 7 days. For example, for material master, customer master, and so on. From here you will be able to broadcast a status message to all users. For example, why the compliance percentage is low for a function and the support team is working on it. You can see 3 other tabs at the bottom. These are for historical analysis of master data quality compliance trends. Let's have a look at the function tab for some historical analysis. Here you can see compliance percentage weekly or monthly for last 12 months for a function. Let's now go to the classification tab. In brief, classification is different types of business rules you configure to validate master data. For example, a material has not been assigned a material group, or has an expired material type. Here are few examples for classification: accuracy, consistency, completeness, redundant and uniqueness. These classification settings can be configured in the Master Data Manager workbench. Based on classification you can verify compliance percentage daily, weekly, or monthly for last 12 months for a function, or individual master data entities within a function. Let's now go to the Master Data tab. Here you will be able to see historical compliance percentage for individual master data entities for a function. Now let's go back to the Summary tab. Let's check the Detailed Error Analysis report. Purpose of the detailed report is to find the exact reason for master data failures. Here you can see if any master data records failed, and why. You have several other parameters on the navigation panel on the left for error analysis. Back on the Dashboard Summary tab. It's time to check out the Configurations workbench. This is the back-end configuration workbench, built in NetWeaver like a standard SAP transaction. This is built in WhizTree namespace /WTD/. No Z programs are involved. The left panel will let you configure rules to validate your master data. There are 5 key configuration elements: function, classification, rule model, rule group and rules. Here you configure the organizational functions like finance, operations, marketing, etc. for your system. Then you configure rule classification types, which are different types of rules like accuracy, consistency, completeness, etc. Next is rule group sequence. Let's first understand what is a rule group. Rule group is the logical grouping of rules which will be applied to validate a master data subset. For example, in a rule group, you can have 5 different rules to validate materials for a specific material type. Here you will have to maintain rule group number range for all the functions. Next is error analysis configuration. Here you will configure compliance percentage for all functions and also for different classification types. This setting is responsible for the status color red, green or yellow on the dashboard. Next is master data origin. This option will allow you to validate external SAP or non-SAP master data coming into this system. For example, if you load materials from a file into a Z table and then post into your material master in ECC, then you will be able to validate the materials before posting them into material master. Now, rule model configuration. Rule model is a one-time setting for individual master data objects. For example, you will create a rule model for material master, one for customer master, and so on. Here you will have to assign the table or view name for the master data entity, and pick the master field from the assigned table. For example, in material master, you will fill in Mara as the table and material as the master field. Also, you have to assign the display transaction code for your master data. For example, for material master, you will assign MM03 as the display transaction. We will see later. This configuration will help you navigate from the master data error report directly to the master data records. Now let's go ahead and create a rule group. Here the first step is to pick your rule model configured in the previous step. You should see rule model details copied at the bottom. Next, condition fields. This will help you to create your rules on a subset of data. For example, if you want to write rules for a specific material group, you have to set it here. If you want to write rules for all materials, then you don't have to do anything. Next, choose the rule fields. For example, the material master fields you want to validate, like material group, plant, storage location, etc. Next, check the rule group and save it. Your rule group is created. So far we have configured to validate material master for a specific material group, along with the fields we will use to write the validation rules. Now the rules to validate master data. In the initial screen you can see the definition of our rule group, but no rules defined yet. Let's go ahead and create a new rule. There are 2 different types of rules, standard and class method based. Standard rules are easy to create, like a logical Excel formula. You may need some programming help for the class method rules. Let's create a standard rule. Select classification from the list configured previously. Give meaningful rule description and fail message. This is going to help you to identify the issues on the error analysis reports. On bottom left you can see the rule group fields we selected in the previous step, while creating the rule group. You can use any of these fields to write a standard rule with a logical expression. Few examples are given below. After you have written your standard rule, check for any syntax problems with the rule, and if all okay, save the rule. Your standard rule is now created. Now if I go back to the previous screen, you can see a standard rule for the rule group. Now let's go ahead and create a class method-based rule. Class method rules are complex rules which cannot be fulfilled by a simple logical expression. This option will allow you to write very complex code to validate your master data. When you opt for this, the application will propose a new class name. However, you can also give your own class name. Then the application will automatically create a class with a method in it, and open a new window for you with the new class. You have to create this class in your development and transport to your production system. This application will not allow you to create the class in your production system. Let's look at the newly created class. It is just like a SAP user exit. All your selected rule fields are already declared in the method, to be used in your code. There is a designated area for your code. Add your code and activate the method. Now if I go back to the initial rule screen, you can observe the two new rules for your rule group. One standard rule and another class method based. Now we are back on the workbench. From the right panel you can navigate to the rule engine to validate your master data, based on the business rules. Here you have two options, Check Run and Active Run. Check Run is to validate master data on demand, any time of the day. Active Run, you will schedule it as a job to run daily. After an active run, these pass or fail results are updated into the setup tables for detailed error analysis report. Based on the configured thresholds, data quality compliance is evaluated for the dashboard for different master data entities. Let's select our rule group, and do a check run for both the rules we created. This report here shows you all the failed master data records with their fail messages. Earlier we have seen the web version of this report, which is accessible from the dashboard. From here you can navigate to the configured display transaction or SE16 to cross-check your failed master data. That's it, now we are back to the dashboard. Smart Master Data Manager is a NetWeaver-based, easy-to-use master data quality monitoring product. Designed for simple and very complex business rules required to keep your master data clean. This product is certified by SAP and will be delivered as an add-on into your ECC or CRM system. You will not require a separate system anymore for your master data quality checks. This should reduce your cost, and help you maintain a simplified system landscape. Thank you for watching this video. For sales inquiries or a more extensive demo of the product, please get in touch.